Good morning. All righty. Trying to get that sun out of my face. Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. All right. Tara's showing up. Okay. Good morning. Hi, Tara.
Hey,
What a beautiful background you have.
I'm at the state park. Just finished a hike, so
That's perfect. And you're getting good Wi-Fi at the state park. That's good.
yeah, it's kind of crazy how well it's sourced out here.
Yeah, that's really cool. We don't, yeah, out here I don't, well, I don't know, maybe I haven't tried it in a while, but it's not as clear as that, which is great and also a little bit scary. Too many in my mind, like way too many
Right.
towers, way too
Exactly.
Yes, it reminds me really quick. I have this, I live in the Santa Cruz area, and for anyone that knows it, I know you know California a bit, Tara. One of my favorite hikes is in Big Sur. I've done it since I moved here 25 years ago, whatever it's been. And you climb up, 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 and there's this panoramic view of the central California coast. It's just outstanding. And my favorite part about it, for so many years, I've taken my kids up there. We've gone every New Year's for years. We've taken friends up. It's an amazing cup, takes hours to get up there, and then we sit and have food. Anyway, it's spectacular. And one of my favorite reasons why I loved it so much is because no phones worked for the longest time. Well, I was going before phones, but once phones started, I'm like, no service. My kids can't scroll. They can't like, and now, last time I went up, which was a couple months ago, full service all the way up. I'm like,
No. Oh,
I know, which my daughter was like, well, you could take videos up there and inspire people, which is great. But I'm like, oh, we need places you can't access.
yeah. You're in
But
your own energy field.
yeah, exactly. Like you feel, those of us that are sensitive to that, I'm like, it was my one place to escape. And but hopefully our bodies, our energy is also upgrading with this technology. That's the hope, right? That we're also like able to deal with all these frequencies. So I know I missed last week, but how are you? Just to check in, Tara, since you're the one here, how are you, my friend? Anything new? Anything you've been noticing? Is the, do you know, there's an eclipse today, I think, like some powerful eclipse, I think.
Friday is the lunar eclipse.
Friday, right?
But the last time we were on a call was like literally during the solar eclipse.
That's
So
right.
yes. And so that's definitely been a portal ride, I feel like, for myself. Has been, yeah. So
Yep.
just, I feel like for me, it's just been taking extra time and care to really center. But I feel very like it's so supportive in doing so much work right now. So
Hmm.
just trying to ride that wave through and still keep coming back once I get into clarity. So coming back to like offering and how that what that looks like and
Hmm.
practicality of it. And so it's
Mhm.
there's just so much distraction. But I've been just taking a lot of time to care
Ah,
on myself.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Good, good. And let me ask you, because you've shared on here before, how is the course creation going? I know last time we talked, which was 2 weeks ago, there, if I remember correctly, you weren't really focusing on it because then there was so much in your personal life pulling you. So is
Yeah.
that still what's happening? Has that eased up a little bit for you, or how is that all?
It's definitely still what's happening.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's kind of like I feel like I was getting kind of clear on what I could do right now just to support myself in this transition.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think it comes down to like just being brave.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
because I do like, I don't know, I just have a lot of fear, I guess, about starting again. So
Yeah.
definitely been navigating that this today, really, and
Hmm.
just the newness of it. So,
Yes, totally. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And it's interesting because I see in all my clients and the people that I work with, some of the businesses that I'm working with and their people, there's this like theme happening and also in my life. And I think it's been building for the last couple of years, but I really think we're like in the muck of it right now where I feel like everything is changing for so many people. Like
mhm,
we're letting go of things and meaning like careers, even environments. I know a lot of people who are moving home, moving the state, moving a country, a few people doing that careers, relationships, starting new ones, ending ones, friendships, romantic relationships, even changing of roles in families and dynamics. I think we're just so in the thick of all this. And I think what I am seeing is a lot of people are sort of navigating. And I was explaining it yesterday to a client of mine who's like, it feels like, and man, I've been there. And in some ways in my life, I am in there. Like one foot in the past and one foot in the future. So it's like this wobbly, like, wobbly thing. I'm almost picturing
mhm.
like in boats, like if one foot is in one boat and one, and then you're like doing the
Yeah.
splits
Yeah,
and the water's like this. So you're like, right? Can you relate?
accurate. Yes.
Right? I know. So I think that's what a lot of us are navigating right now. And obviously, there's a few ways to go about this. Just some reminders that I'm also reminding myself. And I spoke about with a client yesterday is we can do that thing and fear is real. Anytime that there's fear, we always have to remember our brains are literally designed to keep us safe. They are designed to have us survive, not to thrive, not to change, to stay the same. Our brains want us to just make it through the day. So it's always going to look for what's comfortable, therefore, resort back to, even if it's a pattern or a habit or something that isn't serving us or isn't helpful at all, like an abusive relationship or staying in lack or whatever it is, our brains are always going to look for us to go back to that thing that's familiar. So when we're in the midst of change, if we're feeling that like wonky back and forth, in and out, that's absolutely normal and makes sense because we know we need change, we know we need different, but our brain and our nervous system really is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, we got to keep you alive, girlfriend. What are you doing? Right. So we're going to resort back to the thoughts, to the habits, to the feelings, to the behaviors that we're familiar with. So that is a lot of that like push pull dynamic when we are making a change, when we want something different than we currently have. And so it's normal. That's the first thing I want to say is we have to like normalize feeling a little out of control, normalize not knowing how it's going to work out, normalize that like ooh kind of thing because part of the healing journey, part of change is that surrender. And the only way we can surrender is to be in the unknown, right? When we're always certain of things, we don't have to surrender. And the surrender is really the connection to God, to source, to universe, whatever it is for people, which is part of the very reason I believe why we're here is to cultivate that. So we have to be in the unknown. So that's the first thing about this is normalize that rockiness, that like unsteady, that a little bit push and pull. What we want to practice, however, is, and I really emphasize the word practice because that's what it is. It's practicing over and over and over again. Remember, new neural pathways are created, new things are created by repetition. It is not just a one and done. It is very extremely rare that that happens. It's more often repetition. So I think it's like Abraham Hicks that teaches, what we want to do is almost just, if you're teetering in those boats, like past, future, we kind of want to just like raise the future even just a little bit at first, even just a little bit. Like if you're 50% in the past, maybe drop it to about 48, 52 in the future. So we're not looking for this perfection. We're looking for to turn the dial, if you will, to tuning to that future a little bit more than the past. And then we can increase because that usually works. People can grasp that a little bit better than just like burning the bridge or the boat, as they say. Although I love a boat burning or a bridge burning, whatever. Like I'm an Aries, I'm all for it. Been there, done it, but there is a consequence to that. There are things we have to deal with that. So most people prefer that slow burn. And so turning the dial up a little bit, which really just means everything we practice here in this group, a lot of stuff Tara teaches, a lot of stuff that anyone who watches this knows. It's clarity on what you want. It's what is that feeling? What is that emotion? What are those emotions? What are you thinking, behaving, wearing? What are the conversations you're having when that change has already happened, right? So marinating in that energy a little bit more than being in your past. So working on the practice of increasing being in that energy. That's the and that's the practice. And every day we have a choice. This is like the heart of the teaching we do here. We always have choice, but we don't have choice until we're aware of it, until we're awake. So we have to become aware of our patterns, of what we are creating, of who we're being really, and then we get to choose. There's a lot of Instagram quotes, you get to choose, blah, blah, blah. You choose who you are. Yes and no. Most people have no choice because they have very little awareness. You have to have the awareness, and then you have the choice to choose who you're being. So it's really clarity, awareness, and then choosing, right? It's kind of like, if somebody wants to get healthy, this is a stupid analogy, but just came to me. But someone's trying to get healthy, you might want to choose an apple over ice cream, 5 days a week, and 2 days you have the ice cream. I'm not for deprivation, but like the choices we make, right? So, and when I'm talking choices in this way, it's really choices about what we're thinking, right? So one of the things again on this a different call I did yesterday is I have a client who is changing her business. So she has been in a business model, she's a brick and mortar business for 23 years, and she is clearly needing a change. Her body's breaking down, it's not working anymore, and it's brought her a wonderful level of success till now. Now she's getting older. She has different needs, different wants. So she's changing her whole business model, moving into an industry that she's never been in before. And she's so scared. There's a lot of fear, right? So her practice is to build that wobbly feeling, build up that vision and spend a little more time in there. So one of the exercises I gave her was to set her alarm 9 a.m., 12, noon, and 6. And she's going to write down the vision. And when that alarm goes off, she's going to put away what she's doing. This could take 20 seconds, it could take a minute. She reads that vision again, feels it in her body, and then she can go on about her day. But if we do this 3 times a day for a consistent amount of time, repetition, suddenly we are going to build up our comfort, our familiarity. Remember, the brain likes familiarity. So if we build that up, the brain's going to then look for that and start to create more of that energy. So that's one practice. And anytime I am feeling fear, or that I'm making a change, or there's an opportunity or something for me, this is one of the exercises that I do. And it's about writing, right? Not even typing. I say we've been writing for a million years. So I want you to get your pen and your paper. We've been writing on rocks with, chalk in the caveman. We haven't been doing this a million years. So there's something about our brains and writing that's like primal, so writing it out and then reading it 3 times a day. That's a really, really big one. And it's funny because I'm still putting my stuff away from my trip. I was traveling last week and I brought this book. I don't know if you can see just how thin this book is. It's like literally uh 15 pages. It's so funny. Anyway, a mentor gave this to me so long ago. I haven't touched it in a while, but a friend of mine I was staying with was like, "Oh my God, you got to read this little book." It literally took me like 10 minutes. I read it many years ago, and it's called It Works. And it's the famous little red book that makes your dreams come true. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, I'll put a picture of it in the group. Again, it's called It Works. And it's basically saying, it's really cute because it says, I could write a whole book and fill it with a lot of fluff on how to create your dreams, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell it to you right away. And it says, 3 rules. Write a list. So, write a list, like I said, this is exactly what I was saying in that exercise. And you're going to read the list of what you want 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. That's number one. Number two, think of what you want as often as possible. And then number three, this one says, and this is up to you, but this is the book suggestion, do not talk to anyone about your plan except to the great power within the great power within you, which will unfold to your objective mind the method of accomplishment. Basically, it's saying, don't tell losers your big dreams. I mean, that's my paraphrasing, but that's what it's saying is when we tell people things, when we tell certain people things, we tend to then sink to, I'm sure we all have those friends or partners or parents where we have this big dream or this fun vision and they're like, they stomp on it, right? Those are the people you might not want, especially in the beginning, to share things with, not because you don't love them, not because you don't respect them, not because we're keeping secrets, but this book is saying, write it down, read it 3 times a day for at least a month, and don't tell anyone about it but God or the universe or a coach or someone who can hold that vision of your dream. That's literally what this entire book is about here. And again, to me, this is all about raising that level, raising your vibration, clarifying your vision, and stepping into that. So, those boats we talked about where you're wobbly, you get way more steady in that future vision that you're creating. So I just wanted to, I'd love to hear, if that helps at all, Tara. And I really just want to normalize the fear that you're feeling and that my client I was talking to yesterday, her name is Lisa, that Lisa is feeling in this massive time of change when we've got a lot on the line, a lot of us, right? And the change feels daunting and scary, but yet kind of exciting. So that's scary. So I want to normalize that for you. So is that helpful, Tara?
Yes, for sure. And I have like a AM and PM. I like the whole writing down the vision and reading it and feeling into it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and settling into that. And yes, I found that when I do speak about things that I've not like curated in my body yet, especially like when it's coming through, and I speak about it, it's just kind of like sucks my life force out of it, or it's like, ah.
Right?
And then yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I like that. I love those three rules. And
Yeah,
that
yeah. And I think we're a culture that's gotten so far away from like writing. And in the 21 years that I've been coaching, some of the most powerful exercises I've given my clients and I've done myself has literally been journaling. It's just
mhm.
because, again, and Tara knows this too, like when you work with somatics, it's your body. So when we conceptualize something, that's one thing, and that's great. But the next level too is, where we hold in our bodies, with the glass ceilings, if you will, that live in us, the memories to the past, the connections to the past that live in our bodies. For me, it's such a great access when I'm pen to paper. I'm moving. I'm like, and you can even move while you write or whatever, but I can't emphasize enough, like, as more AI comes out and we're moving towards that, I have my thoughts about it, but at this point, it's inevitable. So there's a level at which we have to embrace it. But I'm going back to, I was on the plane and I was reading books while everyone's watching screens and scrolling and laptops, and no judgment, but I'm like, I'm reading and writing. And my brain felt full again. My brain felt satisfied, if you will. And I'm not sure these devices can give us that. So going back to the writing of what it is you want, the journaling, getting those things out onto paper. There is something to that because, again, it's a primal thing. We've been doing that for millions and millions of years as humans. So, yeah, I just thought it was a really powerful practice. And so 3 times a day and over again, because again, the repetition. And then the other thing is, and I'm sure you see this too, Tara, it's like that, asking ourselves too, what is the next action? Right. So I'll just share real quick with Lisa. She is creating an Airbnb business. I think she'd be fine for me to say that on here. And she had to pour concrete in her home and have this whole thing. She's switching things up, reorganizing her home and building a thing in the back. Anyway, so for her, she had that done this week, and it was both invigorating and scary and a lot of money. But to watch this man pouring concrete, changing her home, it's like starting to come into fruition. And, so that's another thing. And Tara, you can share or not, but one thing we have to ask ourselves is, what is the next right action? And seeing that through, even with the fear, and like noticing what the resistance. And she, Lisa had put that off for months and she finally got it done. And then she was like, this isn't as bad. It actually looks good. I'm starting to feel like this is going to happen. And, so it's also the action steps which then feed the clarity of the vision as well. So that's another thing everyone can practice, is really to like, what are the next actions I can take this week, and do them and set it up in a way where you have to do it. And that's where I love coaching and masterminds and communities like this, because you can be accountable, like coming back and saying, hey, I did it, or oh my gosh, I finally accomplished this thing. I sent the email, I did the sales call, I created the website or hired someone to, whatever it is. So can you see, Tara, and you don't have to share what they are, but can you see like some of the next steps that maybe can be done this week to move your thing forward, even though there's fear?
Yeah. Um, yes, and I've taken some steps and then I'll take a step and then it's like I get I think staying in my own energy with it has been very difficult just because it's really easy for me to get pulled out of my energy at the moment, which I've been working on
Mhm.
more. So I feel like even like this call was super like I totally forgot about the call, and then I was like, I got to go walking, I got to clear, and then it's like when I was on my way to do this, I'm like, oh my gosh, the call.
Hey.
It's like,
Yeah, I mean, that's part of your action step,
yeah,
showing up to the process, showing up to
yeah.
your process. Yeah.
So I feel like also there's just such a learning curve. I feel like it's like if I could just do something and get it done instead of like learning how to do something while I'm doing it, I feel like that's kind of a little bit um holds me back a lot, like figuring out a new platform or what it is.
Hmm.
And so um
Yeah.
but yeah, so now I'm just kind of like just even today like okay, sinking back into this, is this possible? And it's also like, should I be in this? There's like that question, because everything's shifting. It's like, or should I just go be a florist? Like, I just want to smell flowers all day. And like, I've
Oh
been
my
doing
God, I
shadow
can
work my
so
whole
relate.
life.
Yes.
Can I just smell some flowers for a while? So it's kind of like, yes, the 2 feet and two different, completely different boat.
Totally. Well,
Yeah.
I love that you said that, and I'm almost thinking like maybe today's a day that you buy yourself some flowers, or you do go on a walk and literally bend down and smell those flowers because that came to you for a reason, right? Can't I just smell some flowers? So, yes, uh, both can be true, is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say, right?
Yes.
It can look however you want to design it, and it could be you having that business or that course, that thing that you're creating, as well as integrating some flowers within it and while on the journey of it, and as part of it, even like maybe there is some like flowery part. I don't know, it's just coming to me while
Yeah.
I'm talking because you brought that up, you know so I know you so wonderfully have a vision, at some point, right? Getting women together and like being in community with this healing work and stuff. So I'm almost picturing when you say that some like bouquet making
hmm
flowers, like something like
Like
hand.
a microflower farm. Like
Yes,
I that is like so calling to me.
is it
Let's all
really?
meet in the flowers and do shadow work.
I mean, girlfriend, there's something to that. I say let's, go with that and like flush that out. I mean, that's, it's funny because you're in a similar space as me, and my coach, and I'm a part of a few network of coaches, healers, mentors, whatever you want to call them, and all of us see that where this industry is leading is in community and in in-person gatherings where we are like singing, dancing, creating, flowering, smelling, like swimming, moving together, like real time, and
Yeah.
having a space or a yearly, yearly, whatever it is. And even in our local communities, maybe even more often than that. But that's where, as AI is rolling out, people are needing that more and more. And I see that with all my people. And I see that within myself too, as I'm actively seeking. I was just this weekend I was in Florida, obviously, but I went to like some movement classes with my friend. We went to some sound healing at like 7 a.m. and yoga classes on the beach. And I'm like, oh, I gotta find this at home and like go. So I think you're onto something. I think you got to something. That calling, see, but that's the thing. And anyone that's listening, that those are not accidents. So when Tara said that, can I just be with the flowers and all, like, yes. Like, so how can we create this thing, this powerful course she's offering, and also satisfy that calling of that secret, like, ooh, I just want to be doing this. Like, okay, both.
That feels like integrating both, like feels like so much lighter, like in my body. Like, yeah, just even like letting it merge because it's kind of just like either or kind of.
Mm.
But yeah, I like that.
Good. There you go. I think
Thank you.
you really just created something. And I swear when I turned on my camera or when you came on, seeing you in the forest, like there's a at home feeling, and I know you're talking about flowers, but I'm sure there's flowers there too, or they're gonna be growing as it when it cools off in Texas there, or, you know, but like the nature part. And I
Mhm.
can so relate. I don't know if my brain goes directly to flowers, but I know by far for me, especially because I do a lot of most of my work online and in screens. If I'm not out in nature actively, whether it's a walk or watching a sunset or a sunrise, meditating, whatever, I am not okay if I don't do that every
Yeah,
day. So,
same.
you know, and that's why like being in Florida was so wonderful. It was hot as hell, but I kind of like the heat, so I didn't mind. But even like, where you live, it looks so beautiful, or, where I live, I gladly would pay the California taxes and the cost of living here because I'm outside every day. And no matter where you are, I have people that loves the snow and that makes them happy. But, for me, so it's not about, doesn't matter where, but finding if you are a nature person, finding and being in that space is just going to feed you so much more. And anyone that's like Tara, like, okay, I'm creating this or I want this, but I also am called to this. I don't know. It's kind of a fun, like, how can we have it all? Like, why not bridge that somehow in some
Yeah.
way, you know?
Hmm.
And
Bridget, don't burn the bridge.
there you go. See, people full circle. We love
Yes.
We love that. I'm also picturing, and I don't know, and you and I will have to talk. I mean, we have to talk at some point eventually. Or, again, we've spoken before, but one of the things that I have my clients do, not all the time, but I know for me too, when I have a fresh vase, my flowers on my kitchen, weekly.
Mhm.
I swear it changes the space, it changes me, it brings like the outside in. So that's another thing when I have someone who's like feeling really heavy, feeling really stuck, feeling really down, feeling really scared or afraid. I will go get yourself some flowers. Like make them freaking beautiful. Put them on your desk where you are. Put them on your table. Stare at them when you're eating your meals. Smell them every day. Like all those experiences that take us out of that like stuck rut, I'm
Mhm.
all for. So for
Yeah.
you, maybe you're also inviting your clients to like create bouquets, get weekly flowers, let that be part of their self-care routine as they're in this healing journey with you. That was another thing that just came to me when you said, I just want to be with the flowers. It's like,
Mhm.
because if you want that, I would say most probably your people, your clients, even future clients are feeling that pull too. So like bringing in that beauty,
Yeah.
integrating that together too.
I love that. Thank you. I feel like
Yeah,
I've given up my permission. Like I feel
right.
like what am I who am I asking for permission? Well, I know who I'm asking for permission from, but like owning the permission, I think aspect of myself, like reintegrating that in a
Mhm.
different way. I think.
Yeah. I love that you just said that. And for me, it's a little more. I found I was waiting, like, oh, waiting for someone to get me flowers or waiting, for the man, or even my kids have brought me flowers or whatever. Like somebody else needs to bring the flowers. And one day I was
Mhm.
like I noticed how good it felt to have flowers when my kids got me flowers for my birthday. And I'm like, why only once a year? Like, wow,
Yeah.
it's like, so weekly I go to the farmer's market near me or even Trader Joe's if I'm near there, and I will get fresh flowers because it lifts me out of that rut that I sometimes
Mhm.
get in. So fresh flowers, everyone. Coach Tara is that's your homework from her.
That's awesome. Yeah, I used to buy them like every time I go to Trader Joe's or and ever since we've been in East Texas, it's just kind of like I guess they're just I don't know. I'll be integrating that and incorporating that. Thank you for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
permission.
Oh my gosh.
Just
No, you brought it up. So of course. And it's, it's funny because I'm not like the most artistic. I love learning from people and I follow these accounts on like Instagram and TikTok where they create bouquets and I'm
yeah.
telling you they get the $2 or $3, flowers from trade and get like bunch, a few different,
Mhm.
and they cut them and put them together in a way you'd think these things were hundreds of dollars and they were like, $15 to make out of all.
Mhm.
And it's like, so we can create beauty really anywhere, and in anyway. So whatever your budget, that's also not an excuse.
Mhm.
I use that for a
Yeah.
long time. Like, I'll save the money. But then I realized when I feel I'm surrounded by beauty, I actually made more money. So,
Mhm. Yeah. Curating your environment.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So, good. Well, I know this thing is going to cut off here pretty soon, but so you know the action you're going to take, and not just Tara, anyone that's listening to this, let's get that action done this week. Also, I love what you brought up, like what are you pulled towards? What are you called to? And how do you bring it into whatever it is that you're creating? Because there's usually a connection there. There's something there. And maybe it's just a way that you, Tara, anyone else, like you stand out, right? You have that like other, maybe you have this message, but like, yeah, the flowers or the nature or the movement or whatever. It's just another way in marketing world, like you can niche yourself is like Tara's the coach with the fresh flowers or the, like some videos in the flower bushes or something, who knows? I'm just
Yeah.
riffing here. But looking at what are you called to and how can you kind of bridge that? And play with that this week. Have fun with it. And then the other thing, you guys, is I'll put this in the group. Like I said, it was literally, I don't know, this was probably $5, something like that. But it's a cute book. It's called It Works. But I will tell you right now, it is the literally one, write the list, whatever it is you want. Read it 3 times each day, morning, noon, and night. Feel it in your body. I added that point. Think of it as often as possible, bringing yourself to that energy and then talking about it really more so with God and the universe, because that way it starts to align with the vision and nobody's dampening your parade. So, there you go. That's the practice this week. And you're going to mess up and you're going to forget and you're going to like not do it right. And you're going to be like, oh, this isn't working. Do it anyway. Just do it anyway. So,
Okay. Thank you so much.
oh my God, you are so welcome. Yeah, let me see how much time. Okay, that's about it. All right, everyone. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Tara.
Thanks, Jen.